Hi everyone, this is Jenny Garcia, and this video is a Project Life spread using products from Feed Your Craft and Tombow. And I love the Feed Your Craft kits because they come with printables, which I love because I don't get too hesitant when I have to use a card, because I can just print another one anytime I want, and I also can change the colors, which I think I have an Instagram video on it, or something to make the the pattern paper. Now I can't remember, but I think it's the one to change the color. It's really easy. I use Photoshop, but instead of using the printables, I'm using the actual kits, and I'm mainly using there is one that it's about books, and I am terrible with names and they're not in the stamp sets, but I did use one. Okay, it's called Page Turner, and Happy Little Moments are the ones that I've used the most. And I used the Page Turner one because I do have a few books that I was documenting in this spread. It was a book I was reading, then another book my daughter was reading, and in one I just took a picture of the book, but in the other one I used a screenshot of the Goodreads app. If you don't use Goodreads, it's an awesome book. I'm sorry, it's an awesome app to track the books you read or to get new recommendations to read lists. You can follow your friends and see what they are reading and how they are rating books. And in this photo, it's a 3x3 photo. I cut the photo a little bit more to fit in the card, and it's just a lettering piece I made. It's a quote by Iroh, which is a character in the Avatar The Last Airbender series, which you can watch on Netflix, and it's so good. It's one of my favorite series, and I love this character. So I hate staging for Instagram. So I don't know, it's just so difficult to me because I just want to share things that I make. But I do like how this one came out. It was like super simple. It was a notebook and a little Funko Pop. I also have a bunch of those, way too many if you ask me. And I did use a sticker that says believe in yourself, because it's about giving yourself hope in very difficult moments. And I'm going to use this card next to a messy photo of my living room. My daughters love blankets, and they tend to bring all the blankets they can find and put them in the living room, and they either put them on the floor or they make tents. So I took a picture of that and just added messy. These alpha stickers are from Studio Calico, and I love them. They're so cool. I also use the die cuts that came in both kits. I'm just adding a few puffy stickers to give it a little bit more layer, and I was planning to stamp, but I think I'm not going to stamp. Oh, I did end up stamping, and I used the Everyday Explorers stamps, and I believe these are the 27 prompt stamps, and I'm gonna have the links below. Some of these links are affiliated. You don't have to use them if you don't want to, but they do help a lot the channel. And this week I made the Harry Potter passport. I think it used to be something different before, but now you add like your favorite place in Hogwarts, your favorite character, or your favorite item or spell, and you make like a little passport, and mine says Ravenclaw, the library, Thunderbird, and the pensive. And these are things that I add. It helps kind of fill out the slow weeks. I am doing 2 weeks in the spread, which again I'm doing a lot in 2019 and 2020. Try not to put too many rules when you're documenting, because project life can be a little difficult. So if you add even more rules to it, it makes it even harder. And I also use some printables from In a Creative Bubble. And In a Creative Bubble, I think, designed both of the kits that I am using. And I freaking love her stuff. Whenever I notice that she designs a kit, I want to get the kit. They're just amazing. And so, yeah. So, I printed the die cuts and I print the cards with my Canon Pixma, and I use Canon paper. But if you write on it, make sure that it's not a felt pen, because the cover that the layer that the paper has on the top kind of ruins the tip. So, or use a typewriter like I do, that also works. And I'm using the Tombow mono eraser to take the top layer from a new stamp out. That's a trick that I learned from Kelly Perky. And actually, when you buy the Everyday Explorer stamps, it comes with a little note about how to stamp with them for the first time. And this is a book that my daughter was reading. It's really nice. It's called Bug Nights. It's like a growing guide, and it has a lot of tips about bodies and how to deal with emotions and how to deal with, being I like that they don't have a cookie cutter kind of thing. They have all kinds of girls, and my daughter really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it too. And this is a picture of my messy living room that day where we're just sitting down, and my daughter was coloring. If you look closer, you can see the markers there, and we were also playing Super Mario Maker. We love playing in our Switch, and actually our Switch has saved us during this quarantine period quite a lot. And I'm gonna use one of the icons stamps to stamp in that circle label, and that circle label is a printable from Caitlin Schaefer. And I had it for such a long time. What I did is that I sat once and I printed as many as I could and put them in a little box so I could use them often. It's just easier than stamping. Cutting and printing and cutting every week or so. I hate it. It's so tedious. So I do prefer just doing it once. And I tried to stamp with white. My Brilliance ink, it's a little bit, it's old and it's kind of muddy and dirty, so I have to buy a new one. And I'm gonna link it below because it does work really well, but it's really old, so I need to get a new one that will stamp better. And I used a stamp that says "couldn't put this down," and this was this is a fantasy book. If you do watch Avatar The Last Airbender, I recommend this book 100%. I loved it. It was so good, and I'm actually reading part 2 now, which I hate waiting for sequels. Oh god, I hate it. There's nothing that I hate more than reading a book and almost at the end I realize that this is not the end. I hate it. I like to see the whole thing at once. So I'm going to use the same Studio Calico alpha stickers to write weeks in. I'm going to use the ampersand too. And this card is from the Happy Little Moments kit. And I love it. It was one of the reasons that I got the kit. And these black number and alphas are from a pad that they were selling at Target like so many months ago. I haven't been out in quite a while, so. And I'm gonna use one of my labels to stamp both weeks. And I'm using the Studio Calico inks. I love these inks. They stamp perfectly, and they also work in photos too. And they're not that expensive. Whenever Studio Calico does a sale. Well, not whenever they do a sale. Whenever I order from them, they have a sale, and I tend to find these pretty cheap. And now I can cut the bottom and use, I always recycle the piece that I cut out. And I got these little heart stickers. I think they were from eBay. I have some that I got at Walmart a while ago, and I can't find them again, so this is the best thing that I could find, and I actually really like them. They're cute. That girl with the books is from the page turner kit. I wish the kit also came with the die cuts, but hey, that's what it is. So I stamp with white on this card, but again, since you can see my pad, it looks dirty, and I do clean my stamps. I use the long fawn chamois, which it looks gross, so I try to keep it out of the shop, but I always have it next to me. And the stamping looked okay, but if the ink was a little bit newer, it would look a lot better. So that's my next thing. I have to throw that one away and buy one. So we collect these Funko Pop figures, and my husband is a big Ghostbusters fan, so we found this big marshmallow guy and I took a picture of it. And my daughters also use it. There's this guy called Mitchell Wu. He does toy photography, and I recommend that you look for him on Instagram, and also he has a website. He has so many cool ideas, and my daughters love to do toy photography with the Funko Pops. And this is not the only, I didn't realize how many Funko Pops I had in this spread. It's a problem. I liked it way too much. And so this is a die cut, and I cut it in half, and I used the part that said details and just added some washi. And I am going to use the bottom part in another card. This is a subscription box I used to get from a place called Loot Crate. Do not get Loot Crate, they are the worst. This is where my commentary about them ends. It's just that I like to document stuff that we get in the mail. And that's what the stamp says. I think one of these stamps, I think it's the icons one, it's sold out, but you can click a button to get notified whenever they get restocked again. And I believe this stamp will get restocked because it's so good. It's perfect for people that do planners and traveler's notebooks and project life, regular scrapbooks. It works for everything, and they're really good quality. And I am so snobby with stamps. I just like to add a little bit of washi to add some layering, nothing too heavy, but something that you can see. And again, that die cut at the top is one of the In a Creative Bubble printable die cuts. I love these cards. One of them was morning, afternoon, and evening, and I used this one to talk about the hot mess my daughters had in the living room. They've been doing this since my oldest, who is now 11, was like 3, so I'm pretty sure they'll remember it, but it's always nice to have that extra reminder, because the things they do in that mess does change, and the shape of the fort and the shape of the mess. I love this card. It's a book review card. Another reason why I love the fact that it comes with a printable, because I can print this card as many times as I want, and I can also let my daughter fill out her own card, which I will let her do in the future. She kind of hates it though. And whenever I'm like, oh, can you write a little something for my book? She's like, ugh, why? And this is the actual card, so it's not the tricky Canon matte paper, so I can use the Tombow twin tones on it. It's just a little blabbing about the book and how much I liked it and what I liked about it. And the stars are actually from the Ellie Studio. It's a book stamp. Let me see if I have it. It's called, it doesn't have the name, but it's an Ellie Studio stamp that it's about books, and it also has a little star, that way you can stamp how many stars you have. We went to the arcade that week, so we used the out and about card, and now I can't remember if that one was from the tourist mode kit or the happy little moments, but it's another feed your craft card, and I use again the twin tones to journal, which I love to use color for journaling. And the ink from the messy box, the one that I'm using, is the exact same one as the Studio Calico stamp, so it's again really good quality. That's actually the first one I used, and I liked it so much that I was looking for it, and I think it was Danny from Pop Fizz Paper that told me that it was exact same ink, and I was like, yes, I need to get more. And this is the whole spread. I get boxes. What this week should tell you about me is that I like Funko Pops, I like books, I like getting subscription boxes, and we're pretty mellow and nerdy, if you didn't notice that before. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave them below, and thank you so much again for watching this video. Have a great day. Bye.